I'm so excited to chat with you because, as a longtime fan of the band, I'm excited you guys are still touring. You're here in the US, coming up here for your Relentless tour.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious, is the set list different each tour you guys do, or do you guys have just this perfect method you've got down for the classics here or there?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we have got a formula because we've got a handful of hits. So we know that we can put those records into the set, and that's going to get a certain response from the audience. But then that allows us to also do new material and unfamiliar material and go into a deep dive into the back catalogue, knowing that if we do indulge ourselves a little bit too much and lose the audience, we can get them back with Red Red Wine or Kingston Town or Here I Am Baby or any of the big hits that we've had over the years. So it allows us to be a little bit self-indulgent, I think, but we want to do new material. We're not a cabaret band. We still write new material and love making music. So yeah, I think that we've got a good formula now that seems to work every time.
I mean, you guys have this incredible following, and I'm curious, who were some of the artists going back that initially inspired you?
Oh God, that's you're going back a long time there. Because obviously we were teenagers in the 1970s. Um, and at the time, commercial music was kind of pop, glam rock, maybe even prog rock. We're talking early 70s. And that wasn't our thing. We're inner city boys. We come from sort of the Birmingham equivalent. It's a motor town, it's an industrial area. And we had a lot of immigrants, so we were heavily influenced by what we were hearing coming out of cars and houses um, and we loved the music. We got into. I got into dub particularly, with King Tubby and Lee Perry, from Black Ark Studios way back in the early 70s. But then, we're big fans of the crooners like Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, John Holt. All those great crooners from the late 60s, early 70s, and even later, people like Beres Hammond. So, yeah, we were heavily influenced by what we were hearing coming straight from Jamaica. We had a reggae record shop that was just round the corner, and we're regulars there. And it was like a crusade for us, because obviously there weren't that many white people at the time that were into reggae, but it was something we really believed in and something we felt was exciting and was changing as well, because the music was developing. This is before Bob Marley, before maybe Roots took over reggae, when it was more kind of Jamaican pop music. But we've always loved reggae and we always will.
I mean, you guys have just a beautiful sound, and I'm curious, you've got these wonderful hits like Red Red Wine we talked about and Food for Thought. What is the songwriting process for the band? Do you guys need to have sort of a groove before you can craft lyrics around it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of change, a lot of the hits come from our Labour of Love series, which we did. We've done four of those albums. We've recorded, I think, 25 studio albums over our career, and four of those were Labour of Love. So the songs were already written, really. But when you say Food for Thought, for instance, which is one of our originals, um, at the time, we didn't really know what we were doing. That is our first hit. Food for Thought was the very first hit we ever had, and possibly I think was the first release we ever did. And that was just I don't know how we got that together. To be honest, we didn't know what we were doing. Nobody's can read or write music. We just get in a room and do what we can and make some music, and then we write what we believe what we want to sing and. Kind of knock it together, really. Uh, I mean, and everybody can contribute, which is a really nice thing. I really enjoy doing things now because we haven't got so much ego, so everybody can contribute, and nobody gets too upset if their ideas are rejected. So it's a nice, healthy sort of, what's the word? It's an ensemble thing. We
Yeah.
do it together, and we know that when we get together, we create something that sounds like this, and that comes naturally out of the chemistry of the people involved.
It's a historic 45th anniversary of when you guys
Mhm.
reached number 5 on the UK official album chart.
Mhm.
45 years. What still makes you enjoy touring out here on tour still?
Well, part of it is, in the beginning we had heroes that we looked up to. I remember the band en masse went to see Bob Marley in 1976 in the local Odeon Theatre. And that was a revelation, and you could see that these people were just such great players, experienced, classy but raw, like a alchemy involved in the music. And and I think we've become ourselves, and that's a nice feeling. In the beginning we didn't have a clue. We were kind of scared on stage. I was always terrified, for a couple of years, really, getting in front of because we were big quite quick. So all of a sudden we're playing in front of 10,000 people, and really we could barely play our instruments. But really, I mean, honestly, but now we can play our instruments, so it's a nice feeling to get on stage with your friends and do that.
Okay, which are your personal favorite songs to perform even after all this time?
Ooh. I mean, obviously, performing the hits is good because we get a great reaction. But I also like to play new material because it's up to us to sell that, and to turn people on with it and perform it, in a good way. So I enjoy doing that, playing a tune that nobody knows, but getting a really good response at the end because we performed it in a way that has turned the audience on. So I enjoy doing that.
This tour is amazing. Where are some of your stops that you're looking forward here in the US to be playing?
You're asking me. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
Miami
kind.
is probably one of the big spots you guys hit up where you get one of the biggest responses.
Yeah, I mean, we love playing Miami. We like playing in the heat. It's really nice. Um, But really, I have no idea what venues we're playing. That is above my pay grade. I think I hit drums, and that's just about as much as I know, really. So
Right.
yeah, you're
And you
asking the
show
wrong
up when they
person.
tell you to.
Yeah, but our management cover that kind of thing, and I haven't got that information in my head, I'm afraid,
That's
where we're
okay.
playing. But I do know that, I mean, we've been to America every year for 5 years, the last 5 years, and it's got better and better every time. So I would imagine we're going to be playing some good venues and have some good audiences because we keep going back and it keeps building and keeps building. So I'm really looking forward to coming again.
All right. Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are UB40 fans who continue to love the music you guys put out?
I'm always amazed, I always I can say thank you. Is the main thing I can say really because we're still, I mean, globally, we're still selling out arenas. And, after 45 years and a long time without any hit records, that's a phenomenal thing. And also the global reach of the music, we can go to Tahiti and get 10,000 people turn up, and then we can go to Sweden and get another 10,000 people turning up, and then we can go to India and play to, 10, 12,000 people, and just being able to go to all these different places where a lot of people don't go. And to get these big audiences, it's a beautiful thing. And I don't know why, I couldn't explain it. But while people are going to come to the shows, we're going to carry on doing it.